Okay, I am very excited to be sharing with you this video, which is going to be on Pasukim Dalet Hay and Dalet and Hay, basically, just two Pasukim. We are going to continue from what we started in class, the first three Pasukim, Aleph to Gimel, and now we're going to learn Dalet and Hay. And after listening to this video, when we come to class, we are going to answer questions that were on this video, using our Navi when we do it in class. Now, previously we learned that the Jewish people were attacked by a very, very fierce army of 900 iron chariots led by Sisera, who was the general, and he worked for a king named Yavin. As we can see, here we have Yavin, and here we have Sisera, and we mentioned the mentioning of his 900 iron chariots over here. They all together ruled us for 20 years. Now, Hashem, after he sends an enemy, the Jewish people did teshuvah. They cried out to Hashem, and Hashem sent someone to save them. And now we're going to learn about the person, or the persons rather, who were sent to save the Jewish people. In our story, we have a male character and a female character. And here we are about to learn about the female character. Pasuk Dalet, Devorah Isha Niviyah. Our character is Devorah. She is a woman who is a prophet. Devorah the prophet. And she's going to be one of the heroes in this story. Now, her nickname, if you will, was Eshet Lapidot, a woman of flames. That's the picture of the flames. We'll come to talk about what this picture is about. But why was she called a woman of flames? Well, the simple explanation is she was called a woman of flames because she was not only close to Hashem herself, but just like a fire spreads, she spread that excitement and enthusiasm to everyone around her. So anyone who met with her was immediately turned on and engaged and excited to be Jewish and felt proud about that. Whenever you imagine some of those people that you've met in your life, that being around them makes you excited. That was what the personality of Devorah was. She made everyone around her excited. So she's compared to a flame because the flame spreads just like her excitement would spread. But yet another reason why she was called that was because she dedicated herself to making sure that the Menorah in the Mishkan, she was in charge of that, and she made sure that the flames would always be exactly the amount necessary to burn through the night, and she made sure that there would never be any leftover oil, which was a very difficult task because the nights of the year often change. Not every night is the same in length as other nights. They change as the year goes. So she had to make sure that no oil was left over in order never to waste any oil. Hashem saw that great dedication that she had and awarded her to becoming the prophet of her generation. Now, not only was she a prophet, which means she was extremely close to Hashem, because a prophet is someone who Hashem speaks to, she was also a tremendously scholarly woman. He shofta et Yisrael. She was the shofetet. She was the shofet of the Jewish people, which means that people would come to her and speak to her, and she would judicate. She would determine between two people who was right and who was wrong. Whenever different cases that were brought to her, she had to be the one to decide, and she was the greatest judge of all the Jewish people at that time. And very famously, it says in Pasuk Hey, V'hi yoshevet tachat tomer Devorah. She sat under a date tree, which became known as the date tree of Devorah. Some actually say that this was the same date tree that Devorah, the nurse of Rivka, which is Parshat Chayisara, which we just had, Devorah was sent with Rivka to Yitzchak. It was the date tree that was the nurse of Rivka. So either way, she would judge under a date tree. Bein Arama ubein Beit El v'Har Ephraim. Vayalu Eleha v'nei Yisrael lamishpat. And the Jewish people would come to her for judgment. Now this is very interesting because most judges had a courtroom. Yet Devorah would meet all of the people who came to her for judgment. She would meet them outdoors under this date tree. And why did she meet with these people outside and not indoors? So one of the reasons was to feel she was so close to Hashem, she liked to be outdoors at the time that she would judge people. Thank you very much for listening, and we will continue this story in our next video. Have a great night.